Good evening. Starting out live, having a good time tonight. We have some story time. Fall forward of encouragement. Chapter 1. The Artist Canvas. The Artist Canvas. Alara started at the blank canvas, her brushes lying dormant beside a palette of dried paints. For months, this had been her ritual. Sit, stare, despair. The vibrant idea replaced by a suffocating doubt. Every stroke she attempted felt clumsy, every color choice uninspired. She was an artist, or at least she used to be. Her studio, once a source of inspiration, marked her with its cheerful glow. She sighed, pushing a strayed lock of hair from her eyes, and considered giving up. Maybe it was time to find a real job, something stable, something. Then a south knock echoed from the door. It was her old mentor, Master Jin, a man whose wisdom was profound as his brushstrokes. He entered, his eyes, through age, still held a keen, knowing sparkle. He didn't speak immediately, but walked around the studio just and finally the pristine, untouched canvas before Alara. A little bit of technical difficulty. Just Encouragement TV. I'm your host, Keith Tent. I'm a cancer survivor. I've been through the mill and back. I got a large cup of frustration. Isn't that the funnest time when you're streaming and getting started, and next thing you know, your stream's doing. Looking forward to the chat as soon as I see it on the screen. Am I the only person that ever has computer glitches when they're streaming? But we're going to continue to be courage. We're going to continue to be mindful of the folks around us that need a positive. If you haven't got a chance to subscribe to the channel, definitely would appreciate it. Takes us to the next level. I can see some of the screen. There we go. Still waiting for that perfect moment, Alara, he asked, his voice in a gentle rumble. Alara thinks, no, Master Yin, I'm waiting for the inspiration. It's gone. I feel like I've lost my way. Master Chen chuckled softly. He chuckled softly, a sound like rustling autumn leaves. He began picking up a small, forgotten sketch of a lone tree, his branches reaching toward an unseen sun. This, he said, holding it up, this is not the work of someone who has lost their way. This is the work of someone who has forgotten their path. Perhaps the map is still within them. He sat beside her, not on the stool, but on the floor, his posture surprisingly agile. Alora, the greatest artists are not those who never stumble, but those who find their footing again after every fall. Inspiration is not a gift bestowed upon the chosen few. It is a muscle strengthened by intimidating white space. He dipped the brush into a vibrant blue, a color alarmed across the corner of her blank canvas. It was a simple curve, yet it held an undeniable energy. This, he said, had permission to be imperfect, permission to explore, permission to fail, and then to try again. Your art is not just what you face the blankness and say, I will make something here, even if it's just one stroke. It is a declaration of your spirit. Her chest, a feeling she hadn't felt in months. It wasn't a sudden burst of genius, but a quiet, profound sense of acceptance. Master Jin would try to struggle, to be human. He was giving her permission to be herself, flaws and all. The world needs your unique vision, Alar. Master Jin continued, his voice softer now. It needs the colors only you just paint. Paint for the joy of it, for the discovery, for the sheer audacity of bringing something new is waiting, and so is the world. Alora picked up another brush, her hand trembling slightly, but this time color that spoke of growth and new beginnings. Besides Master Jin's curve, she added a bold, sweeping line, connecting with his, yet distinctively her own. It wasn't perfect, it was resonated in her, a melody of hope. C3P, C3D printing, I see you. Yeah, I'm starting to see the chats coming through the screen. Yes, that makes a lot more sense now. Chapter 2, The Engineer's Blueprint. Liam started at the intricate blueprint spread across his desk, a tangle of lines and numbers that represented months of his life. It was a design for a revolutionary new energy system, one that promised to power an entire city with minimal environmental impact. He had poured his heart and soul into this, sacrificing sleep, social life, and sanity. But now, after countless simulational algorithms threatened to unravel his entire project, panic gnawed at him. The deadline loomed. His team was relying on him, and the investors had already committed significant capital. He felt the weight of their expectations pressing down, crushing him. He was supposed to be the brilliant mind, the problem solver. Instead, he felt like a failure, a fraud who had let everyone down. A dead faint scent of stale coffee clinging to his clothes. He considered scrapping the whole thing, admitting defeat and starting over. But the thought of the wasted time, the dashes, hope was unbearable. A notification chimed on his tablet. It was a message from Dr. Sharner, his former professor and a titan in the field of sustainable energy. He had sent her an early optimistic draft of his blueprint weeks ago, seeking her informal feedback. He braced himself for a polite but firm rejection, a confirmation of his I've reviewed your preliminary design for the Green Spark system. Okay. What was that? Okay. Like we're saying, guys, technical difficulties. Okay. Guys, whether you are going through a tough situation in your life or just struggling to fill out what your next moves are, always know that Jesus is in your corner. He's there to let you realize and know that He's got your back completely. And time neither seems to get away from you when you always got God on your side. Liam Blink repeating the words extraordinary has she said approach to every energy capture, the sheer audacity of your vision. It's truly remarkable. I've spent days dissecting it, running my own simulations, and I've found something. Liam's breath hitched. Here it came. I found a single minute anomaly in the energy distribution algorithm. It's a subtle deviation, easily overlooked, but if left unaddressed, it could lead to a minor efficiency reduction in the long term. Liam stared at the screen, a strange mix of relief and awe washing over him. She hadn't found a catastrophic flaw. She had found his flaw, the very one he that had consumed him. This, Liam, her message continued, is not a setback. This is a triumph. Do you know why? Because your meticulous work, brought it to light. This is the mark of a true engineer, not someone who never makes an error, but someone who reveal itself. This isn't a failure, it's a testament to the robustness of your design process. She then outlined a few potential solutions, simple tweaks that had eluded him in his panic, presented not as corrections, but as opportunities for optimization. Your green spark has the potential to change lives, Liam. Don't let a single solvable challenge diminish the brilliance of what you've already achieved. This is the moment where true innovation happens in the refinement, in the overcoming of obstacles. You are not just building a system, you're building a legacy. Keep pushing. The world is waiting for you. Liam leaned back in his chair, a slow smile spreading across his face. The crushing weight had lifted. Dr. Sherma hadn't just pointed out a solution, she had reframed his entire perspective. She had seen his meticulousness, his dedication, even his perceived failure. She had celebrated his struggle as part of his no longer a tangle of despair, but a puzzle waiting to be solved, a challenge to be embraced. He picked up his hunger, a threat. It was an invitation to make his extraordinary design even more perfect. The echoes of encouragement resonated in his mind, a blueprint for resilience. This is just a lesson to us all because that design for a new print, C3D, you were thinking of a new print, and or maybe you just hadn't thought it over. But either way, the things that you have already accomplished with a lot of your shorts, a lot of your videos, showing the things that you've been working on, and I just think it's brilliant. Anybody that puts boots to the ground and continues to strive for the purpose that they set aside for themselves, because as a man believe or a woman believes, so is he. You see the bird encouragement that we all need to have. You see the rocks there, they're in our mentalities. Are the seeds being cast on the rocks? Are they continually washed away? Are they continually a waste driving to complete? They're doable. Not only are they doable, they're very achievable. With some of the things that you guys are doing in your own aspects, it encourages me that we need to come across, you know, one another to know that we can make it. We can go to compete with ourselves. We are not competing with everybody else. We are not competing with who they are because who they are is not who we are. Ourselves. Chapter 3. The Teacher's Heart. Sarah walked down the bustling school hallway, the cheerful air in her own heart. It was felt utterly depleted. Despite her best efforts, the standardized test scores for her class were lower papers and tried every innovative teaching method she knew. Yet the numbers told a different story. She saw other teachers celebrating, their classrooms adorned with honor roll banners and glowing parent testimonials. Sarah felt a profound sense of inadequacy. She had failed her students. Was she simply not cut out for this profession? A profession she had once loved with every fiber of her being. The joy she once felt and once found in the ah moments of her students had been overshadowed by the relentless pressures of the metrics and expectations. As she reached her classroom, she saw a small handmade card tucked under her door. It was from Maya, one of her quietest students, a girl who had struggled significantly with reading at the beginning of the year. Sarah remembered the countless extra sessions, the patient encouragement, the small victories of each new word Maya mastered. She opened the card. Inside, in careful, slightly wobbly handwriting, Maya had drawn a picture of Sarah standing in front of the classroom of smiling children, a bright sun shining above them. Below the drawing, Maya had written, "Dear Miss Sarah, thank you for helping me find my voice. Before you, words were like a big, scary wall. You showed me how to climb it, one letter at a time. Now I can read stories. I can write my own. You always believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself." Her eyes. She remembered the day light with a shy, triumphant smile. She remembered the countless times she had stayed after school, not just for Maya, but for so many others. Help small victories that would never show up on a standardized test. Just then, the school principal, Mr. Harrison, approached her. He held a stack of papers, and Sarah braced herself for the inevitable discussion about the test scores. "Sarah," He began, his voice calm and kind. I've been reviewing the year-end reports, and I wanted to talk to you about. He held up a hand. The scores are one data point, Sarah, and they don't tell the whole story. I've also been reviewing the individual progress reports, the anecdotal notes from parents, and the feedback from the support staff. And what I see, Sarah, is truly remarkable. He tapped the stack of papers. Maya, for instance, her reading level has jumped 3 grades this year. 3 grades. It's not just Maya. Several students who entered the class struggling with foundational skills are now performing at or above grade level. You're, you've instilled a love of learning in them, a curiosity that goes far beyond what any test can measure. He smiled warmly. I've had parents tell me their children who once dreaded school now wake up excited to come to your class. They talk about your patience, your creativity, your unwavering belief in them. You don't just teach subjects, Sarah, you teach children how to believe in themselves. You teach them resilience. You teach them the joy of discovery. The impact you have on these young lives, Sarah, is immeasurable. Not It's not about the number on a sheet. It's about the spark you ignite, the confidence you build, the future you help them envision. You are not just a teacher, you are a beacon. And this school, these children, are incredibly fortunate to have you. Sarah's vision blurred with tears, not of sadness, but of profound gratitude and renewed purpose. Mr. Harrison hadn't just acknowledged her efforts, he had seen in her heart, he had validated the invisible victories, the quiet triumphs that truly defined her impact. He had reminded her why she became a teacher in the first place. She looked down at Maya's card and then at the principal, the genuine smile finally breaking through. The weight of inadequacy replaced by a deep sense of belonging and fulfillment. The echoes of encouragement resonated in her soul, a sympathy of affirmation. She was not just a teacher, she was a builder of futures, a nurturer of dreams, and she was exactly what she was meant to be. Wow, that is a very, very inspiring story. The way they just continually broke down the things that were going on and the things that were the struggles were very inspirational to me. Me being a cancer survivor turned motivational speaker, I have a lot to say about a lot of things. And one of those things is that we are more than enough. We have the ability to step outside of ourselves and be greater than we was yesterday. Now it's nice to see what our neighbors are doing and congratulate them on their deeds and accomplishments. But at the end of the day, you can help no more than how you feel. Because when you give other people compliments and you let them know that they can do it, that you feel as though the platform that they're on is great, you are building a future for yourself that you have a tendency of gaining a lot of support, a lot of respect from people, from a lot of unknown people from all corners of the world. That is very inspirational. All corners of the world. I remember doing a speech in school, and, and I invited my neighbor. I used to always go mow this neighbor's grass. He was a good friend of mine. He was a good friend of my mother, my father, my grandfather. I think he even worked at the place where my grandfather worked. I'm not familiar with what his name was, but he had checked into one of the streams and to continue to be mindful that there's other people out there that you don't even know that you affect in a positive way. And that's inspiring from a standpoint of where I'm coming from. Because not knowing from one moment to the next, what your health situation is, how you're feeling, or how you're dealing with things that you're coping with in life, those things are legacy building. Those things are very, I continue to say uplifting because it does uplift me that when I come across the problem that was troubling me or a situation that really has me cornered, so it's very general animal. But if you was to happen to corner it to where it couldn't get away, it would bite you to save itself. That's the same way that we have to be in our spirits. We've given everything that we have, all the compliments, all the assistance, all the support, all the mentorship, all the inspiration, all the determination, all the encouragement, all the continued things that we need to continue to instill in other people to help them get to that next level. Every time you instill that into someone else, that same thing falls back into your spirit. It falls back into you with a connection to know that no one cares. I never said it, I never considered myself a goody two shoes or uh, someone that's better than anyone else. I was an athlete in school. I wasn't one of those athletes that that was real proud and puffy about what I was doing because at the end of the day, we needed to keep the main thing, and the main thing at that time was going to school. But yet, some people took a extra liking to the sports, and that's fine. But you can use sports to to further your education. Not everybody that plays sports is going to go be professional athletes. Thank you, thank you for checking in, Jerry. I had to look at my phone to see some of the comments, some of the text, because they're coming across my streaming software as quick as the channel is. I'm checking over here on YouTube to see how things are looking, see how things are going. Everything seems to be going good. No more glitches in the system. Working out all the bugs, which is very, very thankful to me because I've been streaming on my phone for so long. I call my studio a place for me to call Just Encouragement TV, putting everything together, building the platform brick by brick, sub- subscription by subscription. And if you haven't got a chance to, please subscribe to the channel. I'm a cancer survivor turned motivational speaker. Starting this channel, this platform, Just Encouragement TV, we are continually motivated, continually uplifted by other people's accomplishments, therefore helping ourselves get to that next level. Be encouraged, be inspired. Just Encouragement series has 18 parts. Check out the episodes. Let me know what you think. Let me know where you're checking in from. These things are some of them, I look back at them and you would think that they're cheesy, your coffee, and you're watching the news, going through where we are in this time. These sort of things are needed. Just Encouragement TV is for professionals. It is for churchgoers. It is for family members, mentors, big brothers, big sisters. These are the sort of things that we need to continue to strive for in our community. I keep on forgetting that my computer screen's not touch screen. I always try to touch it all the time. Does anybody ever do that? I think of a song all the time that I used to sing when I was in church when I was a young man. The Jesus in me loves the Jesus in you. The Jesus in me loves the Jesus in you. You're easy, easy to love. I'm sure it could have been sung a lot better than that, but that was what you call a joyful noise, if you will. We've had a wonderful stream tonight. A lot of people have checked in. If I didn't get a chance to say hey to you, and you come back and review the stream again, if I missed you, I'll try to catch up with the comment. We got 4 different platforms, 3 or 4 different platforms at once with comments. Very thankful for you guys. And with that, until we meet again, continue to take steps toward God, or for every one step you take towards God, He will take 2 steps